Previously on our story, now let's see what happened next.
Good morning, my wife.
I still can't believe this is real.
It is real.
You're my wife now.
My daughter, welcome to the family. Thank you, Mama.
What is it?
There is so much food. I'm not used to seeing this much.
The first morning after Amara became Amecha's wife did not begin with music. It began with silence. For the first time in many years, Amara opened her eyes without immediately thinking about tomatoes, rent, school fees, food, her siblings, her mother's demands, or what problem she would have to solve before sunset. She simply lay there. For several seconds, she stared at the ceiling. Then she turned her head slowly. Amecha was sitting beside the large window. He was already awake. The morning sunlight entered through the curtains and fell across the room, making everything look almost unreal. Amara looked around. The room was beautiful. The entire house was beautiful. The estate itself was more beautiful than anything she had ever imagined owning. But none of that was what held her attention. It was the man sitting quietly near the window. Her husband, Amecha. The same man she had once believed was an ordinary security guard. The same man who had walked through the village wearing simple clothes. The same man her mother had insulted because she believed he was poor. The same man who had stood beside her when everyone else doubted her. And now he was her husband. Amara smiled. Amecha noticed. "Good morning, my wife." The words made her heart beat faster. She pulled the blanket slightly higher over herself. "Don't say it like that." "Like what?" "My wife." He smiled. "Why?" "Because every time you say it, I remember that yesterday actually happened." Amecha stood and walked toward her. "It happened. I still can't believe it. You said yes." "I know. You married me. I know. You kissed me." Amara covered her face. "Amecha." He laughed. "Now you're shy? I am allowed to be shy." "Of course you are." He sat beside her. For a moment, neither of them spoke. Then Amara looked at him seriously. "Amecha." "Yes. Are you happy?" He frowned slightly. "Of course." "No. I mean truly happy." He looked at her for several seconds. Then he took her hand. "Amara, I have more money than I could spend in several lifetimes. I have companies, houses, cars, businesses, people who know my name, people who want to be close to me because of my family." He paused. "But none of those things made me feel what I feel right now." Amara listened carefully. "I met you when you had almost nothing," he continued. "And you still gave what you had to everyone around you. You were feeding your family while struggling yourself. You were helping people who could not help you. You were praying for your mother even when she hurt you." His eyes softened. "That's the woman I fell in love with." Amara lowered her eyes. "I didn't know who you were." "I know. And you knew exactly who I was." "Yes. That doesn't feel fair." Amecha smiled. "I didn't fall in love with a woman because she knew my bank balance." Amara laughed softly. "You're impossible. And you're my wife." She smiled. Then her smile faded. "Yesterday was beautiful." "It was. But I keep thinking about Mommy." Amecha's expression changed. He knew exactly what she meant. Amara had spent years trying to protect her mother. Even after everything that woman had done, Amara still could not completely remove her from her heart. "Do you regret not allowing her to attend?" Amara was silent. "I don't know. You don't have to decide today. But she is still my mother." "I know. I keep thinking that perhaps I should have forgiven her." Amecha squeezed her hand. "Forgiveness doesn't mean allowing someone to hurt you again." Amara looked at him. "You think I did the right thing?" "I think you protected yourself." She sighed. "I don't want to become like her." "You won't." "How do you know?" "Because you worry about becoming like her." Amara stared at him. People who truly become cruel rarely stop to ask whether they are becoming cruel. That answer stayed with her. Before she could say anything else, someone knocked on the door. "Come in." A housekeeper entered. "Good morning, sir." "Good morning, Ma." "Good morning," Amara replied. "The family is waiting downstairs." Amecha nodded. "We'll be there shortly." The housekeeper left. Amara looked at him. Family? My mother. My father.
My sisters.
A few relatives. A few. Amecha laughed. You'll understand when you see them. They dressed and went downstairs. As Amara entered the enormous dining room, she immediately felt nervous. Amecha noticed. Relax. How can I relax? My mother already loves you. Your mother met me once. She has been asking about you for months. Amara smiled. At the long dining table, Amecha's mother immediately stood. My daughter. She walked straight toward Amara and embraced her. Amara froze for a second. Then she hugged her back.
Good morning, Mama.
Don't call me Mama unless you mean it. Amara smiled. I mean it. Then come here. She hugged her again. Everyone laughed. Amecha's father stood next. Amara. Sir. He shook his head.
No.
She looked confused. You are family now. Call me Dad. Amara's eyes became moist. Thank you. Amecha's father smiled. Yesterday, I watched my son marry the woman he loves. He paused. But I also watched a village celebrate because of you. Amara shook her head. Sir, I didn't do all of that. Amecha's father looked at his son. She still doesn't understand. Amecha laughed. She'll learn. They sat down for breakfast. For the first time in her life, Amara found herself sitting at a table where she did not have to calculate whether there would be enough food for everyone. There was more food than she could imagine. Fresh fruit.
Bread. Rice. Eggs. Juice. Tea.
Everything was prepared perfectly. Amara looked at the table. Then she laughed quietly. Amecha noticed. What? This is too much. His mother laughed. My dear, you are married to a man who thinks breakfast for 4 people means preparing food for 40. Mother.
What?
It's true. Everyone laughed. For a while, everything felt peaceful. Then Amecha's father placed his cup down. There is something we need to discuss. The laughter stopped. Amecha looked at him. What happened? Nothing happened. Then why do you sound serious? His father leaned back. The wedding is over. Amecha nodded. Yes. Now the real work begins. Amara listened. His father continued. Your decision to move your headquarters to Obasi has already attracted attention. Amecha's expression became serious. What kind of attention? Business attention. From whom? People who don't understand why a billionaire would suddenly pour so much money into a village. Amecha looked at Amara. She understood immediately. They think you're wasting money. His father nodded. Some people think that. And others. Some people think you're building something much bigger. Silence filled the room. Amara looked from one person to another. What could be bigger than this? Amecha's father looked directly at her. That is what some people are trying to find out. Amecha leaned forward. I don't care what they think. You should. Why? Because money attracts people who want it. Amecha's father spoke calmly. Some people will praise you. Some will pretend to support you. Some will try to become your friend. And some will wait until you are vulnerable. Amecha nodded. I know. His father looked toward Amara. And now they have another reason to watch you. Amara's heart sank. Me? You are the reason my son has changed his plans. Amara looked at Amecha. His father continued. Before he met you, he had plans for Lagos. He was considering expanding into Abuja and possibly outside Nigeria. But now he wants Obasi to become one of the most important places in his life. Amara swallowed. I never asked him to do that. I know. Amecha reached for her hand. She didn't. His father nodded. That's exactly why I respect her. Amara looked down. I just wanted my village to have opportunities. And that's why it is happening. His mother smiled. My daughter, you have something money cannot buy.
What?
Vision. Amara shook her head. I'm just a tomato seller. Amecha immediately interrupted.
No.
She looked at him. You're my wife. He smiled. But you are also the woman who made me see something I had never seen before. What? That sometimes the richest investment isn't land, buildings, or companies. He looked toward her. It's people. Amara smiled. For a few moments, Everything was quiet. Then a phone rang. Amecha looked at the screen. His expression changed. Excuse me. He stood and walked away from the table. Hello. Everyone watched him. Amara could hear only one side of the conversation. What?
Pause.
How long? Another pause. Send the report to my office. His voice became colder.
No.
Don't confront anyone yet.
Pause.
Find out who authorized it. He ended the call. His father immediately asked, what happened? Amecha returned to the table. Someone attempted to access one of our development accounts. His father's face became serious. Which account? The Obasi development account. Amara's heart skipped. Why would anyone do that? I don't know yet. His father looked at him. Was anything taken?
No.
Then what did they want? Amecha's eyes narrowed. That's what I intend to find out. Amara suddenly felt uncomfortable. Could it be because of the village? Possibly. His father shook his head. Or because someone wants access to the money. Amecha nodded. I'll handle it. Amara reached for his hand. Amecha. He looked at her. Don't let this ruin today. He smiled. It won't. But she could tell something had changed. The peaceful morning had ended. The moment had passed. There was now something waiting beyond the walls of the estate. Something neither of them understood. And somewhere in Lagos, someone was already making another move. Later that afternoon, Amara returned to Obasi. She wanted to see the village without the wedding crowds. She wanted to walk through the streets quietly. She wanted to remember what the place had been before everything changed. When she stepped out of the car, several women immediately greeted her. Madam Amara. She laughed. Please stop calling me madam. One elderly woman shook her head. How can we not? I'm still Amara. You are our Amara. The women gathered around her. One woman held her hands. My daughter, the tailoring shop opened today. Really? Yes. Another woman smiled. My sewing machine arrived yesterday. That's wonderful. Because of you. Amara shook her head. Not because of me. Because you worked for it. The woman smiled. You gave us the chance. Amara looked around. Children were playing. Shopkeepers were opening their stores. Women were working. Men were repairing equipment. The village was alive. She smiled. This was what she had dreamed about. Not luxury. Not expensive clothes. Not cars. Opportunity. A little boy ran toward her. Auntie Amara.
She bent down.
Hello. Look. He held up a small notebook. I got first place in class. Amara smiled widely. Really? He nodded proudly. Who helped you? My teacher. And who helped build the school? He thought. You. Amara laughed.
No.
Many people helped. The boy smiled. But I still like you. She hugged him. Thank you. Amecha stood several steps away watching. He had followed her without telling her. She eventually noticed him. You came. Of course. I thought you were busy. I am. Then why are you here? He smiled. Because my wife is here. She rolled her eyes. You say that too much. I plan to say it for the rest of my life. She smiled. They walked together. For a while they said nothing. Then Amara stopped. Amecha. Yes. Do you remember what I told you? About what? What I wanted if I ever had the opportunity. Clean water. Yes. And better roads. Yes. More opportunities for women. Yes. Schools. Already done. She smiled. You're impossible. I listen. They continued walking. Then Amara noticed something. A group of men were standing near a piece of land. They were not villagers. They wore expensive clothes. One of them was holding papers. Amara frowned. Who are those people? Amecha stopped. His expression changed. I don't know. The men looked toward them. One of them immediately whispered something to the others. Then they walked away. Amara looked at Amecha. Do you know them?
No.
You're lying. He looked surprised. Why do you say that? Because I have learned your face. Amecha smiled slightly. You really have. You look worried. I'm thinking. About them? Yes. Why? He looked toward the road where the men had disappeared. Because that land belongs to the village. Amara's heart sank. What were they doing there? I don't know. Then find out. Amecha nodded. I will. That evening, Amara returned to the estate. She found a small envelope on the table. There was no name on it. She picked it up. Amecha. No answer. She opened the envelope. Inside was a single piece of paper. 3 lines had been written on it. You think the village belongs to you now. You have no idea what you have taken. Leave Obasi before it is too late. Amara stared at the message. Her hands began to shake. Amecha entered the room. He immediately noticed her expression. What happened? She handed him the paper. He read it. His face became completely still. Where did you find this? It was on the table. Who else has been inside this room? I don't know. Amecha took out his phone. Security. A guard answered immediately. Sir? Lock down the estate. Yes, sir. No one enters or leaves without my authorization. Understood. Amecha looked at Amara. Are you afraid? She nodded honestly. Yes. He walked toward her. Good. She looked surprised. Good. Fear tells us to be careful. He held her shoulders. But it does not mean we run. She looked into his eyes. What did they mean when they said we took something? I don't know. But they said the village belongs to us. It doesn't. Then why are they saying that? I don't know. Amecha folded the paper. That's what we're going to find out. Amara sat down. Amecha. Yes. I don't want the village to become dangerous because of me. It won't. But what if someone is angry because you invested here? Then they can come after me. She looked at him. But what if they come after me? Amecha's expression softened. Then they will discover something. What? He smiled. That they chose the wrong woman. Despite everything, Amara laughed. You really think I'm that strong? I know you are. He kissed her forehead. But I also know strength doesn't mean facing danger alone. He stood. I'll make sure you never have to. Amara watched him walk away. For the first time since their wedding, she realized something. Their wedding had not been the end of their story. It had been the beginning. The village was changing. Her family was changing. Her marriage was changing. And now, someone unknown was watching everything they had built. Outside the estate, beyond the gates, a black vehicle stopped briefly across the road. Inside sat a man Amara had never seen before. He lowered the phone from his ear. She has received the message. A voice answered from the other end. And Amecha. He knows something is wrong. Good. The man looked toward the enormous estate. Then we moved to the next stage. He ended the call. The vehicle disappeared into the darkness. Inside the house, Amara stood beside the window. She looked toward the village. The lights of Obasi stretched into the distance. She placed one hand over her heart. God, please protect this place. She had spent her entire life fighting for her family. Then she fought for the girls of her village. Now she had a husband who was willing to fight beside her. But she did not yet know that the next battle would not be against poverty. It would not be against her mother. It would not even be against strangers. It would come from a secret buried deep inside the land of Obasi itself. A secret that had existed long before Amecha ever arrived. And when that secret finally came to light, Amara would discover that the village she loved had been sitting on something far more valuable than anyone had imagined. Something powerful enough to make enemies risk everything to possess it. And someone had already started digging for it. The next morning, Amara woke before sunrise. She had barely slept. Every time she closed her eyes, she saw the message again. You think the village belongs to you now. You have no idea what you have taken. Leave Obasi before it is too late. She sat quietly at the edge of the bed. Beside her, Amecha was already awake. He was looking through his phone. You didn't sleep either, Amara said. Amecha looked up. Not much. Did you find out who sent it? Not yet. Amara frowned. How can someone enter this house without the security team knowing? They didn't necessarily enter. What do you mean? Amecha put the phone down. The envelope could have been delivered through one of the workers. Then someone inside the estate is helping them. Maybe. Amara stood. That scares me more. Amecha walked toward her. Don't panic. I'm not panicking. You are. She looked at him.
Fine.
I'm worried. That's different. She smiled slightly. Amecha touched her hand. I've doubled security. That won't protect the village. No. Exactly. He nodded. That's why I'm going there. With me.
No.
Amara's eyes narrowed. No. I want you to stay here today. Absolutely not. Amara.
No.
You told me yesterday that I shouldn't face danger alone. I said I would protect you. And I said I don't want you protecting me by keeping me locked inside. Amecha sighed. I knew you'd say that. Because you know me. Unfortunately. She smiled. Fortunately. He laughed softly.
Fine.
But you stay close to me. Agreed. They left the estate shortly after sunrise. 3 security vehicles followed them. Amara watched the streets through the window. Obasi looked peaceful. Children were walking toward school. Women were opening shops. Farmers were moving along the road. Nothing looked different. But Amara knew better. Someone was watching. When they reached the land where the strangers had been seen the previous day, the men were gone. Only footprints remained near the edge of the property. Amecha stepped out of the vehicle. His security chief followed. Sir. Search the area. The men spread out. Amara stood beside Amecha. Why would anyone care about this piece of land? I don't know. It isn't even developed. That's what makes me suspicious. Amecha crouched and examined the ground. There were tire tracks. Large vehicle. Heavy load. Someone brought equipment here. For what?
Digging.
Amara looked around. Digging what? I don't know. A security officer approached. Sir. Amecha stood. What did you find? We found these. The officer handed him a small plastic bag. Inside were pieces of old metal. Amara looked at them. What are those? I don't know yet. Amecha turned to his security chief. Send them to the laboratory. Yes, sir. Amara frowned. Amecha. Yes. What if someone was searching underground? He looked at her. That's exactly what I'm thinking. Later that morning, Amecha arranged a meeting with the village elders. They gathered in the community hall. Amara sat beside him. The oldest elder, Papa Nwosu, looked concerned. My son, why did you call us here? Amecha placed the photographs of the footprints and metal fragments on the table. We found strangers searching this land. The elders exchanged looks. Searching for what? One asked. We don't know. Papa Nwosu leaned forward. That land has always been empty. How long? Since before I was born. Amecha looked at him. Do you know who owned it? The old man hesitated. It belonged to several families. Several. Long ago. Do you have records? The room became quiet. One elder slowly raised his hand. There may be old documents. Where? In the village archive. Amara looked surprised. We have an archive. The elder smiled. You never knew? I've never heard anyone mention it. Because nobody uses it anymore. Where is it? Behind the old community church. Amecha stood. Take me there. The archive was nothing like Amara expected. It was a small concrete building covered in dust. The door barely opened. Inside were shelves filled with old papers, books, maps, and handwritten records. Amara coughed. When was the last time anyone cleaned this place? Papa Nwosu laughed. Maybe when I was a young man. Amecha turned on his flashlight. Let's find records concerning that land. They searched for almost an hour. Then Amara found an old wooden box. What's this? Papa Nwosu came closer. I don't remember seeing that. She opened it. Inside were several documents wrapped in cloth. Amecha carefully removed them. The oldest paper was almost impossible to read. But one word appeared clearly.
Obasi.
Amara leaned closer. What does it say? Amecha studied it. I can't read all of it. Papa Nwosu adjusted his glasses. Then his expression changed. What? He looked frightened. What is it? The elder slowly sat down. This cannot be. Amecha looked at him. Papa, what did you see? The old man pointed toward the document. This land. What about it? It wasn't simply farmland. Amara's heart began beating faster. Then what was it? Papa Nwosu looked toward the other elders. Years ago, before most of us were born, there was a company that came here. What company? I don't remember the name. Why did they come? Mineral surveys. The room became silent. Amara looked at Amecha. Minerals? Papa Nwosu nodded. They believed there was something beneath the land. What? We don't know. Did they find it? The elder shook his head. Officially, no. Amecha's eyes narrowed. Officially? Papa Nwosu looked uncomfortable. Some people believed they found something. What happened? The company disappeared. Disappeared? They left suddenly. Why? No one knew. Amara looked at the documents. Did anyone ever come back? Papa Nwosu was silent. Then he said quietly, someone came back. When? About 20 years ago. Who? A foreign survey team. Amecha frowned. Did they search the land? Yes. Did they find anything? No one knows. Amara looked at the old map. There was a large circle drawn around the exact land where the strangers had been seen. Her eyes widened. Amecha. He followed her gaze. The map showed something else. A long line extended from the marked area toward the center of the village. What is that? Papa Nwosu stared. I have never seen that map before. Amecha picked it up. Who drew it? There was a name written at the bottom. Chief Balagon. Amara froze. Chief Balagon? The same man who had been confirmed as Abigail's biological father. Amecha immediately became serious. Do you know when this was made? Papa Nwosu checked the date. 26 years ago. Amara stared at Amecha. Abigail is 14. So, that means Chief Balagon knew about this land long before Abigail was born. Amecha nodded. But that doesn't prove anything. Could he be involved? We don't know. Amecha folded the map. We need answers before we accuse anyone. That afternoon, Amecha called Chief Balagon. The older man answered. Hello. Chief. Amecha. I need to ask you about something. There was a pause. What is it? Do you remember Obasi? The chief became silent. Of course. Do you remember a mineral survey conducted here more than 20 years ago? Another pause. Why are you asking? Because I found a document with your name on it. The chief's voice changed. What document? A map. Silence. Chief. Where did you find it? In the village archive. The chief breathed heavily. Amecha, you should leave that matter alone. Why? Because some things are better left buried. Amecha's expression hardened. Someone is searching the land. I know. You know? Yes. How? Because they contacted me. Amara's eyes widened. Amecha put the call on speaker. Who contacted you? I don't know. What did they want? The map. Did you give it to them? No. Why? Because I promised someone I would never reveal what I knew. Amecha leaned forward. Who? The chief did not answer. Chief. I am sorry. The call ended. Amara stared at Amecha. What was that? I don't know. But he knows something. Yes. Something serious. Yes. That evening, Amecha drove to Lagos. Amara wanted to go. He refused. This time, I need you to stay here. Why? Because I have to speak to someone. Who? My father. About the land? About the company that came here. Do you think he knows? I think it's possible. Amara didn't like the uncertainty. Promise me you'll call. I promise. He kissed her forehead. I'll be back before you know it. She watched his car disappear. For the first time since their wedding, Amara was alone. She walked through the estate. Everything felt strangely quiet. Then she heard a noise. A metallic sound. She stopped. Who's there? No answer. She walked toward the back corridor. Another sound. This time louder. She grabbed her phone. Security. A guard answered. Yes, Ma. Someone is inside the house. We're coming. Amara stepped backward. Then a man appeared at the end of the hallway. She froze. He was wearing a dark cap. His face was partly hidden. Who are you? The man ran. Amara screamed. Security. Guards rushed in. The man escaped through the back door. One guard chased him. Another stayed with Amara. Ma, are you hurt?
No.
Did you recognize him?
No.
She looked toward the open door. He was looking for something.
What?
I don't know. The security team searched the house. Nothing appeared to be missing. But when Amara entered the study, she noticed something. One drawer was open. Inside were documents. She immediately called Amecha. He answered after several rings. Amara? Someone entered the house. What? He ran away. Are you safe? Yes. Where are you now? In your study. Don't touch anything. I already did. What happened? One of your drawers was open. Which one? The documents. Amecha went silent. Amara. Yes. Look carefully.
She did.
What am I looking for? An old blue folder. She searched. It's gone. Amecha's voice became very serious. What was inside? I don't know. I'll be home tonight. A few hours later, Amecha returned. He walked directly into the study. Are you okay? Amara nodded. I am. He hugged her. Thank God. I told you they were looking for something. I know. He examined the drawer. Nothing else was touched. Why would they steal one folder? Because they knew exactly where it was. What's in it? Amecha looked at her. Old company records. About the land? Possibly. He opened another cabinet, then stopped. What's wrong? He pulled out a document. This shouldn't be here. What? He showed her. It was a copy of the old map. The same map they had found in Obasi. Amara stared at it. How did this get here? I don't know. But you said your family had no connection to that land. I said I didn't know.
He looked at the map.
Then at the date. His face changed. What? Amecha didn't answer. Amecha. He pointed to the signature at the bottom. It was not Chief Balagon's. It belonged to Amecha's grandfather. Amara's eyes widened. Your grandfather? Yes. What does that mean? Amecha slowly sat down. It means my family may have known about Obasi long before I ever heard its name. Amara's voice became quiet. Why didn't you tell me? Because I didn't know. Then what are you thinking? He looked at the map. I'm thinking the reason I came to Obasi may not have been an accident. Amara stared at him. What do you mean? I always believed I came here because I wanted to find a wife. And he swallowed. Maybe something brought my family here long before I was born. The next morning, Amecha traveled to his father's office. His father was waiting. What did you find? Amecha placed the map on the desk. His father stared at it. He became pale. Where did you get this? In Obasi.
His father didn't speak.
Dad. Still nothing. Tell me the truth. His father slowly sat down. I was hoping you would never find that. Amara's name was not mentioned. The village was not mentioned. Only one sentence came from Amecha. What is beneath Obasi? His father closed his eyes. We don't know. That's not good enough. There was a geological survey decades ago. I know. Your grandfather was involved. I know. Then you know more than I wanted you to. What did he find? His father hesitated. Nothing was officially recorded. Officially. His father sighed. There were rumors. What rumors? That the land contained something extremely valuable. Gold.
No. Oil.
No. Then what? His father looked directly at him. Rare minerals. Amecha's expression hardened. How valuable. Potentially worth billions. Silence. Why was it never developed? Because the company abandoned the project. Why? His father looked away. Because people died. Amecha's eyes widened. How many? We don't know. Who? Workers. Why? An underground collapse. Amecha stood. Was the land sealed? Yes. Then why are people searching now? His father looked at the map. Because someone may have found the original survey records. And they know the deposit is still there. His father nodded. That's my fear. Amecha stared at him. And my family? We walked away. Did we? His father looked at him. Your grandfather made a decision. What decision? He believed the village should remain untouched. Amecha was silent. Why? Because he believed that if the discovery became public, powerful people would fight over the land. Amecha looked down. That's exactly what is happening now. His father nodded. Yes. That evening, Amecha returned to Obasi. Amara was waiting. She knew immediately from his face that he had found something. What happened? He sat beside her. My family knew. Knew what? About the land. Amara's eyes widened. What is beneath Obasi? Potentially valuable mineral deposits. How valuable? Billions. She stared at him. For several seconds, neither spoke. Then that's why. What? The development. Amecha frowned. What do you mean? Maybe those people don't care about the village. They care about what's beneath it. Amara looked toward the window. They will try to take the land. Yes. From the people. Yes. Then we cannot let them. Amecha took her hand. We won't. But how? We need proof. Proof of what? Who is behind this? And if we find them? Amecha's eyes hardened. Then we'll stop them legally. Amara smiled faintly. You sound like my husband. He smiled. You sound like my wife. She leaned against him. For a moment, they were quiet. Then Amecha's phone rang. He answered. Yes. The security chief spoke urgently. Sir, we have a problem. What? Someone has entered the village archive. Amecha stood. Who? We don't know. Did they take anything? Yes. What? The old land records. Amecha looked at Amara. All of them. Almost. What remains? There was a pause. One document. Which one? The document with Chief Balagon's signature. Amecha's expression changed. Keep it safe. Yes, sir. He ended the call. Amara stood. They're destroying the evidence. Yes. Then we need to move quickly. Amecha nodded. But before they could leave, another call came. This time from an unknown number. Amecha answered. Hello. A distorted voice spoke. Mr. Amecha. Who is this? You should not have gone looking for the land records. Who are you? You have everything. Amecha's eyes narrowed. What do you want? The land. It belongs to the people of Obasi. A quiet laugh came through the phone. You still don't understand. Explain it. The land is not the real prize. Amecha's expression changed. Then what is? The voice became quieter. Your grandfather didn't leave the village empty-handed. Amecha froze. What did he take? You'll find out. The call ended. Amara looked at him. What did they say? Amecha slowly lowered the phone. They said my grandfather took something. What? I don't know. Then find out. He nodded. But deep inside, Amecha felt something he had not felt in years. Fear. Not for his money. Not for his company. Not even for himself. For Amara. Because if his grandfather had taken something from Obasi decades ago, then perhaps the mysterious people threatening them were not interested in the village alone. Perhaps they were searching for something that had been hidden inside his own family for generations. And if they discovered where it was, the peaceful life Amara and Amecha had just begun could disappear overnight. Outside, thunder rolled across the sky. The lights flickered. Then the entire estate went dark. Amara gasped. Amecha immediately moved in front of her. Stay behind me. The security alarms began to sound. Then came a loud crash from somewhere outside. Amecha reached for his phone. Security. No response. He tried again. Nothing. Amara whispered. Amecha. He looked at her. Don't move. A shadow passed across the window. Someone was outside. Then another. Amecha grabbed Amara's hand. Back door. They moved quickly. But before they reached it, the door opened. A man stood there. He raised his hands. Mr. Amecha, don't shoot. Amecha froze. He recognized him. It was Chief Balagon's personal driver. What are you doing here? The man was breathing heavily. I came because I know who is behind this. Amecha stared at him. Who? The man looked at Amara, then back at Amecha. You need to leave this house immediately. Why? Because the people looking for the land have already found what they were searching for. What? The man's voice dropped. Your grandfather's hidden ledger. Amara's heart stopped. What ledger? The driver looked terrified. The ledger that contains the names of everyone who is involved. Everyone. Every company. Every politician. Every businessman. He swallowed. And every family that wanted what was underneath Obasi. Amecha's face became cold. Where is it? The man looked toward the darkness outside. That's the problem. What? It disappeared tonight. The lights suddenly returned. But the man was no longer standing there. Amecha stared at the doorway. Where did he go? Amara looked around. He was right here. Amecha ran outside. Nothing. Only the rain. And on the wet ground near the gate was a single piece of paper. Amecha picked it up. There was one sentence written on it. The ledger is with someone you trust. He looked back toward the house. Amara stood in the doorway. And for the first time since their wedding, neither of them knew whom they could trust.
The mystery continues. Don't miss the next part.